Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of Big Trucking Tuesday. The Bonfire Racing League Season 12 has come to Iowa Speedway. It's race number 12 of our 13-race regular season, and things are tightening up as the boys are preparing for the 5-race playoff where it will culminate at Chicagoland. We're three wide in the booth today. Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Smokin' Joe producing. Tension is high. Stakes are even higher. Zach, how high are you?
Extremely. As high as if we were in Colorado or something. Me and Gene, I could not be more stoked. This is a fun track. I've heard there's some big updates to this since the recent iRacing update. So I've heard this track race is totally different. We know it's recently repaved, and that last time I was here completely turned things on its head. So I'm excited to be here up in the booth with you guys.
Tell you what, it is a 7/8 of a mile track here, Iowa Speedway. You've got the D-shaped oval, 12 to 14 degree banking. Gonna make for some fascinating racing for the 24 drivers who have showed up today. How about last week? Indianapolis, 25 drivers. The story there had to be Alex McWhorter pushing his front end right into the back of his teammate, David Owens. Owens was the season's points leader, finds himself from 2nd to 18th. Sure, McWhorter won, but I would have loved to have been in the headquarters on that Monday morning, Zach.
Oh, yeah, that was a dramatic final out there. Perhaps the most dramatic of this entire season so far. But it was all to play for, and Alex had the speed all day, and he was not going to let that win slip through his fingers. And that was a big one, as you see him now, the first one on the outside looking in to make those playoffs. So even with the win, he still needs to continue to be solid here.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a task in front of him. Up top, though, check it out. Regular season championship coming to a boil. Only 2 races remaining today here at Iowa, next week at Talladega. And check her out. David Owens and Joe Volpa separated by only 5 points. This thing couldn't get any tighter. Top 12, gonna make it to the playoffs. This is not a win and you're in. It's just those points. Of course, the caveat here today is if you tie for 12th, you get to go as well. Today's racing, super exciting. Cannot wait. Boys out there qualifying now. Fastest guys in practice, though, Zach. Got to look at a couple of names we're very familiar with. AJ White, AJ Binish, Justin White. A lot of usual suspects up at the top of that practice board.
Yeah, this is looking familiar, and it's not a surprise here at a track like Iowa where the cream does tend to rise to the top. This place really, really tough on these drivers, and there it is. Our qualifying results are in, and it looks like Jared Kelly does put it on the pole. Check that out.
Yep, Jared Kelly, only a part-time driver this season for the Big Truckin' Tuesday, but always out there hunting trophies. Jared Kelly going to start on the pole in that double nickel. Zach Engel going to be starting on the front row, 2nd place. David Brenner has got that number 22 in the 3rd place position. The Scotsman, Justin B. White, going to be in 28 on that 2nd row. AJ Binish, last season's winner, actually season 9, last time they actually came here. AJ Binish dominating that race. Today he's going to start in 5th. Paul Ferdiani going to be starting in 6th place. Edward Peltz, 7th place, running the number 7 truck. David Owens is going to be in 8th, starting his number 8 Ford in 8th. David Buell going to be 9th. And the rookie, Eric Gambrill, continuing his hot run, got that number 46 in 10th.
Great job there by Gambrill. Starting in 11th place is going to be Jake Johnson. 12th place will be Volpus. You know he loves this track. We'll see how he's able to handle those new updates. Tim Darby will be starting in 13th. Nate Moorer over in 14th. 15th will belong to Zach Williams. 16th, Nick Mills. 17th, George Jewell. And 18th will be Jaron Valley making an appearance here on Tuesday nights. Excited to see him. And I should have said Nick Mills' first car not to put in a time, or first truck I should say. So all these did not put in time. That's also going to include Matt Schofield in 19th, Kyle Lynott in 20th. Jay Bev, John Beverly in 21st, Tommy Fox in 22nd, Steve Lewis in 23rd, Jeff Pfeiffer in 24th, and rounding out, I believe this 25 truck field is going to be Steve Neal in 25th. Quite a few trucks not wanting or not having the courage yet to qualify here, Mean Gene.
And right now, going to run a few warm-up laps here. Some names, though, like you said, Jaron Valley, he has made the return. And a couple of guys that really don't run very much we're seeing out there today. John Beverly, admin of Monday Night Mayhem from our sister league, Moonlight Racing League. Good to see John out there. Steve Lewis, old Louie, usually not running Tuesday trucks, so nice to see him out there as well. Couple of guys I'm keeping my eye on. Going to be Jaron Valley. He's starting midfield right now, but remember, he was a top 5 driver before. He had his extended break because of his new work schedule. And also George Jewell. You know, George ran a few seasons back, always a top competitor. So those are a couple of mid-pack guys I'm keeping an eye on. And then in the back, I'm still holding my breath. It's going to happen. Jeff Pfeiffer starting in the back. Going to see him battle and make his way up front. I'm telling you, I can feel it in my bones.
Oh, I completely agree with you. Jeff Pfeiffer always showing tons of short run speed as well. Just having a harder time, I guess, making an entire race come together for him, but it's got to happen eventually, especially with as much talent as Pfeiffer has. But I also am going to have my eye on Jaron Valley. It's always such a pleasure to see him on the track, and yeah, whenever he is there, he's contending for a win, so that will be fun to see him get through the field as he decided not to qualify.
The names you should be very familiar with here today. This, of course, our sponsor today, going to be sponsored by Kyle Lynott, the Suicide Awareness and Prevention 180 here at Iowa. Takes a great many loved ones every year. You can't always see the signs. And remember, the best thing you can say to somebody in distress is, I hear you, I love you. Here we go. Jared Kelly going to be on the pole. The flagman sends it. Away we go. Jared Kelly going to lead him into turn number 1. Good momentum there by the 55. Zach Engel, David Brenner. Look at Brenner. Cut it down with the 22. Engel takes it a little too high, and that's going to let the 22 Ford make his way into second place. It's going to be Kelly in first. The 22 of Brenner in second place. Behind them, you can see Engel finally making it work on the apron, and then it gets a little squirrely as we head back in the pack. Jared Kelly going to lead the first lap here at Iowa.
Great first lap there from Jared Kelly, and like you said, about mid-pack right now, it's 3 wide in some areas, and it's all types of intense around where Eric Gambrill is in the top 10, or I should say running out the top 10. It's crazy intense. They're starting to kind of figure this out right here, and right there in that dark area on the bottom of the track, that is the newly paved part of the track, quite obvious there. But it's interesting to me on the exit there how the outside lane has that extended runoff right there, and that's going to be interesting as this run goes on to see how these trucks react to that. But right now, it looks like everybody just trying to stay married to that new part of the track. So much more grip down there.
In the back, you can see Darby with the 42 trying to get out of the way of Kyle Lynott. He and Lynott had a little bit of a touch and go early on, but Lynott now made his way through. So many of those drivers in the back choosing not to qualify, and that opens them up. A little bit of a gap after Darby. Here comes Nick Mills. That guy, always super exciting. Be a lot of fun to see what happens when the 20 catches up there to the 42. Up front, Jared Kelly already pushing that lead to 1 full second over David Brenner. That double nickel, this is indicative of what we have seen from Jared Kelly in trucks. Remember, he's got a pack load of wins in the Premier Cup, but here in trucks, just a little bit different of a story. Guys that run mid-pack in a cup can win here at the truck level. So Kelly's still finding the adjustment as more and more drivers can match his speed. He's had early speed on so many times, but then later in the race, it seems like tire wear or other strategy has just come to bite that double nickel. Maybe tonight, though, he breaks through, finds himself with one of those sweet KK Woodscapes trophies.
Yeah, I think that's all that Jared Kelly can hope for here is just continue to control this race. Clearly tons of speed in that 55 right there, but really you've seen it fall apart so many times for Kelly when he goes mid-pack, whether it be kind of by strategy, a mistime caution. But right now, so far so good for Kelly. 2 guys sticking out to me right now are going to be Kyle Lynott and Jaron Valley. We're going to have Valley over in 12th and Lynott in 13th. Here they are. Almost a little situation there for the 971 of Maurer. That was a close one as Valley's going to go around his outside. But already 7 spots picked up for Jaron Valley and 7 for Lynott as well, the driver sponsoring this race. Big thanks to Lynott for that. And oh man, you see Lynott think about going 3 wide. Here we go. Dive bomb by Lynott. This should be fun.
Speed on the outside. You can see Valley maintains his speed. Nate Maurer, he's no rookie. He knows what to do. He voluntarily took that 971 number, so that's not a 900 rookie number. That is a champion number. Nate Maurer, of course, so fast on Monday nights back when he ran there. Look at now, they've made their way up to the 46 of Gambrel. That rookie has no idea what's happening. Valley on the outside, he does block the 971, but look how tight they are here. That's Peltz right there. Now Valley going around him. You are right. Jaron Valley just smoking this track. Fastest lap for him, 23:57. That's one of the top 5 fastest laps. So Valley got a lot of speed in that number 1 Toyota.
Yeah, and he did that working his way through the field. He hasn't had a lap in clean air like someone like Jared Kelly, or even at this point David Brenner has, with how big of a lead Kelly has stretched out. So that's an incredible pace that Jaron Valley is showing up 9 spots now from the start of this race. But not far behind in terms of pace and track position is Lynott. So keep your eye on that 988 as he's on the outside right now of Edward Peltz, really just kind of following Valley around the track. And then in front of them is a surprise to me, at least maybe he's trying to save his stuff, and that's AJ Benish. You expect to see him further up in the field right now.
They mentioned that Benish had dominated Iowa last time, but we've seen this is the repave. This is the updated version of the track, so it's almost running an entirely different setup here. So if you tried to duplicate the setup you had here last time, not going to have much success. Hopefully everybody put in their practice laps during the week to figure that out. I also really hope everybody put in their practice laps for Charlotte for the Premier Cup on Sunday, because that track is really slick, and if you don't slow down, you're going to spin around. I think that's a very similar situation here today. This is just such a different ride, and guys that had success suddenly find themselves driving on the dark side of the moon in uncharted territory. Oh, there's uncharted territory.
Oh, no!
Taking her for the ride.
And I think that will likely, no caution. We're going to stay green. We will get a look at what happened to Lynott there. Oh, my goodness. Huge hit for the 988.
He did not go to the David Owens School of Driving. Look at him. You're going too fast. You're not going to pull a caution out.
Yep, he is going too fast back on track to bring up that caution. We can take a look at that, Smokin' Joe. Here we go. Keep your eye on that 988. Look on the inside of AJ Benish here. I think he's going to slide up a little bit. And I think just barely get into Benish. That was enough to send him around. And wow, it didn't look like a big hit, but it turned out to be quite a wallop there for Lynott. And yeah, to add insult to injury, no caution for the 988 there.
A lot of damage on that right rear. We'll have to keep an eye on it, because that's where your truck will start to get loose and just spin for no reason when you're trying to come out of turns. So that is going to make it even more difficult for a truck that just showed us that it might be a little bit of tight loose coming out.
Here he comes. Lynott coming in, likely to get some damage looked at. No fast repair anymore here on Tuesday, so this could be terminal. We'll have to see for Lynott. Looks like so far it's all damage repair, no tires or anything like that. Hopefully doesn't go too many laps down here.
No, bringing it in here, lap 15. Very unfortunate for our sponsor, Kyle Lynott. Up front, Jared Kelly continuing to lay his onslaught on the track. You know, Kyle also not going to have a chance to think about the laps, as looks like Steve Lewis is already a lap down back in 24th position. That's that number 88 Chevrolet, Captain Crunch. So he is looking to be in the lucky dog, but I don't know how long that lucky dog's going to last. He could quickly get 8 up again. You can see slight lead Kelly has over him, but unfortunate there for the captain, falling back into the grasp. Next driver back there would be John Beverly. He's running a 901. That is a 900 number. Oh, and he passes Tim Darby as we speak, but there is a nice 15 seconds between Darby and the leader. These guys turn in 24-second laps, so that window's getting tight. Steve Lewis needs to pick up some speed, or he might not be the first car a lap down.
Yeah, it appears as if Lewis started this race on the pits, which would explain why he's already a lap down. That's not a pace thing for Lewis, but it's going to be hard to get that back without a caution. It's Jared Kelly, clearly the fastest car or truck on track right now, still putting down really, really quick laps, some of the fastest on track every lap. So already 2 of our faster drivers, Lynott and Lewis, with some unfortunate circumstances. Lynott's still in the pits, been almost 2 minutes now, so whether or not it's a race ender, it's going to be a race ruiner, I guess you could say there, for Kyle Lynott.
I think we're starting to see these tires finally settle down. A lot of people having very similar lap speeds. We saw that big charge of Jaron Valley. Looks like he's kind of peaked out as far as his lap times go, sitting in 8th, up 10 spots. We also saw Nate Maurer making a little bit of charge. He's kind of peaked out at 10th place. And then, of course, Kyle Lynott was the other truck we were looking at moving fast. And unfortunately for him, he went a little faster than the laws of physics would allow, finds himself in the pit. Back on the track now, Kyle Lynott is, but already looking at 7 laps down.
Yeah, brutal situation there for Lynott. I wonder if we put any tires or anything like that on it to try to stop the bleeding. I mean, either way, it's going to be a brutal situation for him. Going to need quite a few cautions, but hey, you never know what can happen. Props to him for still being out here. Take a look at David Owens right now. Owens having a hard time keeping off the wall. Really just rode the wall all the way down the front stretch there. Not sure if Owens dealing with some damage here or just some tires. And look how loose he is. Oh, man, on the exit 2, nearly going around there is the 8 of Owens.
Loosey-goosey, that's not what you need to do there. But I think a lot of fellas, we've put in a ton of laps at Iowa, but just not with this setup. And so totally new experience for a lot of these guys. Thankfully, he's in the truck a little bit more forgiving than the Cup car, definitely more forgiving than that Evil Xfinity car. So good chance here for these guys to get a lot of lap time on this Iowa track. David Owens, I mean, one of the top veteran drivers that we have in Premier and over in the Moonlight Racing League, as well as here in the Bonfire Racing League. So he's a guy that can kind of handle that. He's got quick hands. We saw that last night with him and Colin. So he was able to get that thing back underway and keep it going straight.
I think really what it is too, me and James keep our eye on Owens here. We'll see if it happens again. It's that transition onto the from the new surface onto the old surface, and that's where you saw Owens get loose right there on the exit of 2 on that last occurrence there. But the older these tires get, the more difficult those transitions get, and brutal on the exits of them. It just really upsets the truck. So not a surprise to see that happen to the 8 of Owens. I think it will happen to several more drivers. I'm sure it already has. As you see right there, Benish and who is that mixing it up with Benish? Is that Volpis? Volpis and Benish mixing it up. Smoking Joe got that new black paint scheme looking good there. But here we go with some good action. Benish continuing to fall down the running order, Mean Gene, all the way down to 11th place.
Pretty crazy. Wonder what's going on inside. Let's go ahead and go to an in-car cam. Let's go inside of Volpis's truck, and that'll give us an opportunity to see that transition that you're talking about. Go ahead and talk me through this, Zach.
So yeah, here we go. This is the exit of 4. It looks like, yeah, it is. And right there, Volpis did a perfect job of making a straight line out of it. And that's what you need to do to not upset the truck. If you're still coming up the track, or if the wheel is too turned, it's going to upset that truck. Here it is with a little bit of dirty air. But once again, Volpis, as you can see, he has that line that represents the middle of the steering wheel straightened out on the exit of the corner. And that's what the key is. Doing a great job here, looking to the inside of Benish. And clearly Volpis did a great job taking care of his stuff as well.
Wow, great action. You can see directly in front of them as well. That's the rookie Gambrel trying to hold on. Edward Peltz just ahead of them. So really exciting action right here. But I am surprised as well, Benish not having the success getting up the track, feeling the effects of the wearing of those tires. Well, here, look at Volpis going to take a peek down low. 3 different lanes there. That was pretty exciting. Ahead of them, of course, the 7 of Peltz, and then looks like Steve Lewis, the captain, kind of triaged the bleeding, seems to just be holding on in those positions. Last lap there, Lewis ran a 24.52. That's about the same speed as everybody else right there. They're running 24.4s, 24.5s. So if he can stick there, I think the captain will be real happy. Looks like Nate Maurer now, though, also has gone
Maurer disconnected, it appears. It looks like maybe he was in an incident. Oh, internet issues, it appears. That is a bummer. And look at Peltz, though, missed that corner ever so slightly, but that opened the door for what looks like to be 3 drivers, Volpis being the last of them. Peltz having a brilliant run so far, but that one little slip-up is going to take him out of the top 10.
Yeah, that's a serious problem you find on these shorter tracks is once you get out of that preferred lane it does open that door. And, you know, I've seen it happen with passing also. If you try to get off that preferred lane and force a pass, if you don't get by clean, especially in a tight pack like this, you're going to lose 2, 3, 4 or more positions. You know, we're really going to see that next week when the trucks visit Talladega.
Yeah, we definitely will at Talladega, but it's a similar effect here at these short tracks. Like you talked about, Benesh into the wall and exit there. A good job recovering, but that's going to be enough to open the door for Volpus. And Volpus going to look to complete yet another pass, and we're still seeing that from the 5 right there. Just having a hard time getting that truck underneath him, really struggling on this long run, and Volpus has done a good job keeping those tires underneath him, and look at how low he can get it right there. Going to just wrap that bottom, and looks like he can keep a good amount of momentum as well. 13 looking to make this pass.
I'm curious. Let's go to Smokin' Joe. Smokin' Joe's down there in the pits, got a little bit of insight. How's it look down there in the pits, Joe? Are these guys preparing for the trucks to come in? How far can they make that on gas? And you thinking everybody's looking at 4 freshies?
Yeah, so the pit window here is about 45 to 50 laps. I expect most of these guys to try and split it up into 3 semi-equal runs, probably go to about lap 45, and then go to about lap 90 if the race goes green that far, and then leave a 40-lap run at the end of the race. It might see some guys stick it out. 50 laps is a full tank of fuel, though, so you can't go any further than 50.
Let me ask you this. Do you got any info on the 988 over there of Lanat? Did he just have massive damage and he's bleeding this thing out, or does he think he might have some speed just for fun?
So pretty much what happened after you guys saw that contact he had on the inside wall, he thought it actually was a race-ending contact with the wall. It just turned out to be pretty significant optional damage that cost him 6 laps. He was actually pretty shocked it wasn't as bad as he thought it was. So he got it fixed and got it back rolling, and is just kind of hoping for a lot of cautions at this point.
All right, that's Smokin' Joe down in the pits. Thank you. We're going to keep an eye out, Zach. He said around lap 45. Guy's going to try to split this up evenly. We'll just have to keep an eye on it and watch as that progresses. Up front, Jared Kelly now just slowly having a great day, pulling away. Got it almost to 2 seconds now over David Brenner. Great run by David Brenner, I want to add, silently. You know, second place, nobody's celebrating it, of course, but, that's podium time for David Brenner. Would love to find himself there at the end. Justin White, our Scotsman, running in third in that 28 Toyota. You know, these guys are just kind of gapping it. But this thing ain't over. Looks like Zach Engel might want to have a conversation with him as far as who's going to get that third spot on the podium. Still a lot of laps to really be run, but this is a pretty close battle for third.
And it looks like that's Benish who's going to be the first to bite here. Not a surprise. We saw him really struggling there on that long run. Bleeding spots, so Benish going to be the one of earlier ones to bring it down. That might put him, like Smokin' Joe was talking about, that might put him a little bit behind the 8 ball on pit stops. I think 45, if you could help it, would be where you'd want to come. But Benish, you're wanting to prioritize getting some fresh tires on it and giving that run another shot. And when you look at the 55 of Kelly, that lead is just continuing to grow this entire run. It is up to 2 seconds. So Kelly really just, I think, will probably try to run this longer than others. As you see below him, someone is way below the racetrack. I think that may be Tim Darby. That is Darby in the 42. I don't know what happened to Darby there, but like I was going to say, he does not want to catch a caution at the wrong time, and I think he just got a good example right in front of him of just how easily that can happen here. Is it looks like Darby's still trying to limp it back around, hopefully not bring out a caution, but that right there would be enough for me if I'm Kelly to want to get the most out of this fuel tank.
I think it's entirely possible he might even have a flat tire. I don't have a good eye.
He just hit the barrels.
Yeah, he's thinking about it. Now he's got to back it up and refigure that out. Jaron Valley going to come in as well. You know, you made that comment about it might be too soon for somebody, AJ Benish. But why not? You're watching yourself go backwards. If you run the same strategy as Jared Kelly, you're not going to win. That's already been proven. Jared Kelly too fast to beat straight up right now. We're on a long run, almost at the end of a fuel entire run, and yet Kelly's having no detriment. So I think he's got that 55 Chevrolet dialed in today. So why not? If you're AJ, come in early, short pit it, make up some time. And if there's any cautions that pop out, that would give you that opportunity to get that track position back. I mean, he was falling back pretty far. He was, outside the top 10, Benish was.
Yeah, but the key is going to be to get that caution. The why not reason to me, Mean Gene, is fuel. That is not enough fuel to make it to the end of the race if he continues to do 40 lap runs. He's going to have to find those laps elsewhere now. So that may be difficult, but one caution would fix that. But if this race was to somehow stay green for the entirety of it, that would not be enough fuel if he was to continue that every run. So Benesh is going to have to keep that in mind. But on this first pit stop is when you take those chances, and it's getting busy down there.
Business is picking up. You can see Justin White, Zach Williams. Look like Edward Peltz is going to bring it in. Jeff Pfeiffer, Tommy Fox, both going to visit the pits. And here comes Stephen Neal as well, running in that 45 Toyota. George Jewell, one of the earlier pitters. Looks like he's coming out right now. That's that 36 Chevrolet. So all the fellas now taking this opportunity, and from the times that I see them putting up, everybody also taking 4 have a good ones.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's a no-brainer right now, I think. Oh, we got a car in the grass. I think it was Pfeiffer. No, it wasn't. I apologize. Trying to figure out who that was in the grass, but I think these cold tires definitely biting a lot of these guys right now. So again, you can see Jared Kelly not quite ready to bring it down yet. He has a huge lead over Brenner, up to 2.8 seconds now. So it's only swelled more for Kelly, but I understand not wanting to catch that caution at the wrong time right now if you're that 55. I am, however, pretty impressed with the fact they can go 50 laps.
That's a little bit further than Smokin' Joe was thinking, but hey, why not?
And there's Brenner.
Just go as far as you can, especially considering you're barely at 1.3 second breakdown off your fastest lap.
Here comes Kelly.
So 0.8 at the most. Yep, Kelly going to turn over that lead.
The 901 misses pit road.
David Owens is going to bring it in. Maybe Vulpes. Let's keep an eye on him. Vulpes is going to bring it in as well.
Oh, so close for Vulpes. This pit road is brutal, Mean Gene. I just saw Beverly miss it, and he had to back it up. We just almost saw Vulpes do it Kyle Larson style. Man, it's not easy.
It's really tight, and if you don't have to slow it down significantly before you going into 3 there, you're going to have really a heartache and maybe shoot past it or even worse, hit those barrels. So Jared Kelly's still being shown as the leader, even though he sits in the pits getting his 4 tires.
Yeah, look for Justin White here. And I think Justin White is going to... Oh, it's going to be close here. It's going to be really close.
Here he comes.
He's going to lead.
Got him.
Got him. And Brenner, I don't think will get Kelly. He will not. But Justin White, with a big move, he pit 4 laps earlier than Jared Kelly did. He pit on the lap that Smokin' Joe was speculating about, and that was lap 45. So White keeping it simple. And, man, one thing I don't think you want to do if you are any of these drivers is let Justin White lead this race and give him clean air.
Fastest lap, 0.3 of a second quicker than Justin. So I think we're about to see a whole handful of those laps. But as you said, dirty air could become an issue once he catches him. But Kelly's proven more than once that if he can get under you, he will ride you all the way up into the 3rd row, take away the angle that you want to get to go into the turn and make his way around. So Jared Kelly more than possesses the skills necessary to get by a driver, even a driver as accomplished as Justin White.
Oh, yeah, I've been ridden by Jared Kelly more times than I'm proud of. I could not agree more. He really knows how to get it done. He is a real-life race car driver, quote-unquote. So he has that experience, and he has just so much awareness in the race car. So he really is a very dangerous driver in terms of speed. Behind them, Benish, one of the guys who we saw pit first, all the way back on lap 39. And he did not make the same forward progress that you would expect. Oh, no, loose above them. I believe that was Ferdiani, was it? No. Yeah, that was Ferdiani, Mean Gene.
Off the pace right now as well. Ferdiani's got to get back up to speed. He's doing 120, slowly getting up. Going to lose another lap, though, right there. Driver's just sneaking by him. That's Paul Ferdiani in the 44 Citgo Chevrolet.
Oh, wow.
Looks like he's almost up to speed again, but that was really not what he wanted to happen. here in the early stages of this race. Meanwhile, look how quickly Kelly has caught up to White. White's doing a little wiggling, only 10 laps on those tires, but they are not happening what White wants. And here is it, what we talked about. If you open that door, if you let Jared Kelly get below you, he is going to take that thing, get under you, and deny your angle into the turn. And that's what we see. White trying to make that middle work, but you know this is a one-lap preferred lane track, and here it is. Kelly now on that apron. Wouldn't be surprised. Makes that pass, and away we go.
Yeah, I would not. Yep, there it is right there from Jared Kelly. He made that thing quick and really only 4 laps right there, but you see how big of a difference it makes on track. Jared Kelly likely going to drive away in a hurry from Justin White here. So Kelly's still the truck to beat. White grazes the wall a little bit there and exit. That's not what you want if you're the 28. Behind them is Brenner. Brenner pit 1 lap before Kelly and 3 laps after White. So he should have a good amount more speed in that 22 than White does. So I think it's only a matter of time until Brenner is challenging for second. And then look at that, quietly in 4th place, Zach Engel with another brilliant run. This guy has just been so good the past month or so, and another example of it right here. And it's been so much longer on speed as well as just patience and really just putting together an entire race. Already Zach Engel up to 4th place right now.
In that 47, he's right on that edge fighting for that playoff spot. So needs to put together a good run here tonight. So far, so good for the number 47. But again, Jared Kelly just continuing to be the class of the field. Looks like now he's got the 32 in his sights, the 32 of Jake Johnson. Jake needs to find some speed in that thing, or he could be the next victim of that double nickel.
Yeah, he's going to have to figure something out, as Kelly looks to be one of the fastest trucks on track by a pretty big margin right now, putting down more great laps, has led so many in this so far. We're almost here to the halfway point, and Kelly going to continue to control this race. And really, I think the only thing you're thinking about right now is when that window opens to make it your last pit stop of the race, how long you want to push it. Again, I don't think Kelly's going to want to get caught in a bad time for a caution, because even though we haven't seen a caution yet, me and Gene, that does not mean we haven't seen incidents. We've seen quite a few.
Yeah, you think about Lynott, what happened with him, didn't bring out a caution, and then we've seen a little bit of bumping, and these trucks do get tight once you get up into too many laps, and so that's a possibility. There we go, taking a peek now under Jake Johnson. Johnson dealing with Lewis in front of him as well, so lap traffic facing lap traffic.
Yeah, so a lot going on here, and this race is only going to get more complicated for Jared Kelly as he has to negotiate through this lap traffic. Behind them, you still see White doing a great job holding off Brenner, but Brenner slowly starting to reel them in. Owens was one of the guys who also ran it pretty long. He went all the way down to lap 49. He is over there in 5th place. He's done a great job driving through the field. So Owens is someone I think we'll have to keep our eye on too. He'll likely be putting down some of the fastest laps out here. It really does seem like just scrolling down our data, that pitting late was the move here. So I wonder if the drivers will continue to do that if this is to stay green. Because I'm looking at someone like Benish, he's already fallen down to 7th, and he pits so much earlier that I really don't think that bleeding is quite done yet. I don't even know if that evening out point will come for the 5 if it's anything like that first run.
He has to be super happy with the way that it moved him up the field, but Benish was one of the quickest chargers and then one of the hardest fallers later in that tire run. Hopefully that number 5 has found that middle ground. The quick pit, the short pit, gave him the positions rather than driving the tires off of that thing. So hopefully he's being a little bit more conservative and being content with that 7th place that he finds himself in. There's going to be another round of pit stops. Hopefully, though, for him, especially thinking about fuel, he's looking for a caution as well to kind of make up that little gap of what he's going to be short.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's got to be definitely a focus of Benish right now, especially if the speed isn't there. You might as well start saving now. I think that's also something that these drivers are going to have to be thinking about if they were on the earlier side of that. Quite the contrary behind him with Volpis running in 8th place. He also went all the way back to lap 49, one of the last guys to bring it down. You saw him almost get into the tire barriers, actually. So Volpis actually makes his way around Valley right there. Valley was on the earlier side. He put on lap 42, and you see that not quite working out for him. He is fallen down to 9th place, and you see Volpis driving away from him, putting down better laps.
We're on lap 67 right now, so 24 laps on these tires. Still trying to figure it out. Looks like Lynotte's going to take a little dip back down into the pits. Hey, why not? Get a little more repair work. He's just out here hoping for cautions. And so far, no luck on that side. You know, a couple other drivers I want to take a little peek at. You can go back. Let's take a look at Jeff Pfeiffer. He's back in 12th place right now. Moved up 12 spots. Biggest mover on the board in the green, of course, not in the orange. So Jeff Pfeiffer, you know, he's putting it together out there today. A little bit of distance from him and the other guys. He's trying to chase down Gambrel. Gambrel's got about a 4-second lead on him right now, but good run for Pfeiffer. Who knows? Another round of good round of pit stops and greens, or even a caution that could put that 85 right back up there in a position to do something.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting to see if we do get that caution, because so many drivers have done such a good job working their way through the field, getting the running position that they probably feel like they deserve. So all they would really need is a caution to have a shot at Jared Kelly, but so far that has not been the case. And Kelly right now continuing to negotiate through lap traffic, and it's getting tight for Kelly right now. He just got past the 89 of Zach Williams. Next up will be Matt Schofield. So these are not slouches by any means. Schofield's a very fast driver, as is Zach Williams. So this is when it gets really tough to start working through this traffic. So we'll have to see how Kelly is able to hold that right now 2.2 second lead over White.
These are all drivers that were either actively hunting the playoffs or in the playoff run. And it's just been starts, not poor finishes, that have cost these guys that opportunity. Look at Kelly now ducking down below him and accelerating out of there, pulling away, going to make it clear of Schofield. Zach Williams in that bubblegum car right behind there now, going to look underneath Schofield. A little bit of side-by-side racing there. I think Schofield's going to have that momentum hold on, but wow, Jared Kelly now lapped up to, that was 17th place, only 16 trucks on the lead lap now.
Yeah, Jared Kelly is really lights out fast right now, and the longer the run goes, the faster he seems to get. And Kelly really doing a good job of making quick work of the cars that he has to put a lap down. Did a good job there on Schofield. It looks like Tommy Fox will be next up. So, again, another really fast driver that Kelly's going to have to deal with. But so far, so good. He's not giving up any time to White. White has done a great job of making those tires work for him. I mean, Kelly was able to get by him, but the bleeding stopped there. As you see Brenner still about the same distance behind them. So clearly a lot of speed in that 28 for Justin White. If he's able to get on the same tire strategy and stay close to Kelly, I think we'd have something very interesting. But right now, Kelly has everything under control, especially when it comes to having the newer tires and a good lead to boot with that.
Well, good battle on the track. Nick Mills back there battling with the number 7 of Edward Peltz. They've been side by side for a couple of laps now. The 20 of Mills trying to make that outside lane work, but it's hard to roll here, especially 26 laps into a run. Nick Mills trying to make that top work. Look at Peltz now pull back side by side, but that momentum of Mills working that outside finally going to allow him to get clear and take over 13th place. Nick Mills up 3 spots, but I'm really surprised. That 20's a guy we usually see battling for a top 7. Right now, having a little bit of difficulty, finds himself back in 13th.
Yeah, it really is surprising. A lot of drivers that we are used to seeing up front struggling right now. I mean, Benish in 9th, even Jaron Valley not running where I think we were expecting him to, over in 8th place right now. Nick Mills not having the best run of the season for him. So as you can see, these drivers struggling to get a grasp of this new Iowa layout here and this new paving that these guys have. And I can tell you, Mean Gene, the first time I came here, it took me hours until I felt the slightest bit comfortable here. That dark stuff, it really screws with you on the corner exits. And it takes you a long time to figure out your angles and how to get through these things, through this track fast. As you see, Nick Mills kind of struggling with that right now, loose on exit. Oh man, I'm sorry, not Nick Mills. That was Justin White struggling on exit right there at second place car.
Yeah, we've seen Justin wiggle a couple of times when Kelly got right up behind him and seemed to make him wiggle just a little bit. But you know that could just be a rotor issue, the size of the rotors in the rear. Never can tell. Especially on a truck like that. I guess they don't change the rotors, do they, Joe? This are trucks, not cups. He's probably told me that like 3 times on this broadcast. But Look at him. Look at him.
It's like
He's
he'll
getting
never
his
learn.
knee. If you can't, yeah, I don't learn. I'm a man. I don't know any better. All right, so he's still holding off, though, but look at that. David Brenner's the one chasing him down. Brenner now behind Jake Johnson in that 32. Jake Johnson being shown one lap down at the moment. Speaking of a lap down, look at Tommy Fox now also going to get ate up by the double nickel of Jared Kelly. Kelly continuing. I mean, Tommy Fox, guy's got the most starts here in Big Truckin' Tuesday, so getting him a lap down is significant. Going to put the 57 MG Miller Champagne of Beers, Bobby Allison paint scheme a lap down. And now he's looking forward. He's got a car between them, but the next guy would be Neil in that red 45. He'd be the next victim on the Jared Kelly Laps Everyone tour.
Yeah, and again, it just keeps getting more and more competitive for Kelly of the guys that he has to put a lap down. So, man, I mean, I'm sure even Kelly at this point, I mean, he has a 3-second lead, so no, he doesn't want to caution. But I'm sure that he is more stressed than than he anticipated being for a race where he's led over 75 laps. But Kelly dealing with a lot right here, having to continue to get through guys who have their own sets of agendas and aren't going to worry too much about Jared Kelly and letting the leader by. This isn't a road course, and that those same etiquette rules would not apply here. Behind them, yeah, it's already up to 3.5 seconds, so definitely by far the guy that is negotiating around this lap traffic the best in the field is Jared Kelly, and that is significant, as that lead is only going to swell if Justin White and Brenner cannot figure out this lap traffic as well as Kelly is. And if you look behind there, I mean, White is still behind the 89 of Zach Williams. He has not found his way around Williams and Schofield yet. He's been behind them for about 5 or 10 laps now.
It looks like he's going to take a peek under Williams here. Maybe this will be the opportunity. He's going to get a chance to get down on that apron for that preferred line. Hopefully, he'll hug it and be able to slide right up in front of Williams. Does so. Finally needed to make that pass because David Brenner just creeping on up, only 0.5 of a second now behind. If Brenner can get by Williams a little easier than that, that could make a big difference. But look at Williams. He is just staying right in the draft, the tail stream of White. So that's going to make David Brenner's job all that much harder. And you know who's loving it? That's going to be the 47 of Zach Engel. He's like, hey, lap drivers, you know what to do. Make it happen. I don't mind at all. Jaron Valley going to bring it into the pits.
Wow.
And here comes David Owens as well. So short pitting seems to be a way to go about this. And why not? AJ Benish, he short pitted and it hurt him a little, but he was up in 9 today. Broadcaster jinx.
Yeah, it probably was right there, but it's a fair assumption if you're any of these lead drivers to think it's going to stay green here. I mean, granted, the action is still all over the track as Brenner has finally found his way around that lap traffic, but it's getting dicey over there as, Jaron Valley is just blowing through the field right now. This is crazy watching him, and it looks like Owens as pit as well. So Benesh is bringing it down right now. So a lot of these guys, I mean, we are very much in the window, me and Gene. We are 40 laps away from the end of this race, so you will definitely make it. We've seen guys like Kelly go as many as 50, so I like the idea of pitting here. I guess it's about who Jared Kelly feels any sense of threatened by and who he's going to actually care about to bring it down the pits. Because I don't think, I mean, if you're Jared Kelly, you're probably not worried about David Owens quite yet. He was so far behind you on track that you can afford that lack of an undercut available to him, even Jaron Valley. But I think someone like Brenner or White would be enough to bring in Kelly right now.
Would think so, but you're just going to ride it out as long as you can, knowing that the longer you make it last, the longer those tires are going to make it on this final run. Look at Valley just zipping around Justin White now.
So
really
fast.
Got a lot of speed in that one with those brand new tires. Last lap for Valley, 23.93, whereas last lap for Jared Kelly, 24.58. So you can already see 0.6 of a second.
Here's
difference.
Volpes.
Not quite a second, though. You know, before we saw a 1 second, a 1.3 second difference when they came in to do the pit. So not quite a difference, as large of a difference. So I think that's a testament to the drivers kind of saving their tires and having more speed at the end of a run.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well, me and Jane. And who is that just brought it down? A beautiful entry there. That is Stephen Neal, I believe it is. So, yeah, we're seeing more cars. That was Volpus last time. We saw Tommy Fox the lap before. Still none of our podium drivers, Justin White, Kelly, and Brenner, still leaving it out here. Up to a 4-second lead for Jared Kelly here. Just a matter of how long he wants to run it. I think he's going to wait for one of those two to bite. Oh, and we have a car in the grass.
Jake Johnson took a little visit down into the grass. That's not... You can't park there.
No, sir.
No caution, though. He going too fast. He needs to go to the David Owens School of Driving if he wants to pull out a caution here.
Here comes Kelly. Really
well,
nice
now
entry there for the
5. Yeah, Jake Johnson fiddling around on the apron there. You don't want to do that now. He must have not seen
that. Because, yeah, that would be enough to convince me not to do it yet.
Yeah, Jake Johnson up to speed again, though. We're all fine here. How are you?
And then on top of that, Steve Neal is still in the pits, so it's like something may have happened to Neal. He's been in the pits for over a minute now. Speeding for Neal. Okay, we just got the word from Soccer Joe. That's unfortunate for Stephen Neal. And here comes Brenner as well as Justin White. So the other two not wanting to wait long, not wanting to give any undercut available to Jared Kelly. So all Kelly has to do here is keep it clean, keep it smooth, and hope that this thing is able to stay green for another 35 laps, man, Shane. Looks like Benesh speeds as well. He was early in that cycle, and now we're finding him laps down with a 1.26, 1 minute and 26 seconds, I should say, pit stop, and that is a speeding penalty right there is what that tells me, man, Gene.
Angle did lead a lap, and then he comes down. That's going to turn over the lead to David Buell. That's a truck we haven't talked about tonight. That is the number 52 Marlboro Menthol Toyota of David Buell. Of course, David is in the running for the playoffs. Had a quiet but very successful season. Here he is again leading laps. We're going to bring her down. Why not, right? Lead a lap, get a point, bring it down. Stay up to the front of this thing. And that is going to turn the lead over very quickly. Looks like to Nick Mills, but no, Nick Mills going to bring it in. Let's see if Gambrel leaves it out and wants to lead a lap here today.
And then behind them is just David Owens, and he has pit. He pit 8 laps before Jared Kelly. Justin White.
Contact.
Oh, no.
That's Paul Ferdian. He went right into the side of Darby, and that is going to bring out a caution.
And I believe Justin White was involved in that, our assumed second place car. Oh, man, let's take... Oh, it's
Jake
not over
Johnson.
yet. Oh, my goodness. All right, I have the first incident, then we can take a look at the rest if you guys want. My goodness. What happened there?
Was that live?
That was, yeah, that one was.
Oh, wow. I thought that was the replay of the wreck.
Check
this
this out.
kept getting worse.
This is crazy. You won't believe this one. So we'll take a look at this. Here we go. So right here, the 28's going to get loose on exit. So around he goes. And I think he's gonna hit the wall. Yes, he does. But this was not the caution. So now I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, and now watch this. He's gonna come back on the track, and it looks like, is that Darby or Zach Williams? That's Zach Williams behind him, and Stephen Neal to his outside.
Neal above him. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
And that car truck has way more damage than he anticipated. Off the track he goes. Oh. Yeah.
That was a combo shot right there.
Oh, man. Oh, no. Pfeiffer.
No.
He avoided it. He got through it. Wow.
I was going to lose my stuff.
That was scary. Well, there's that caution, and I don't know what you do if you're David Owens. I think you know what you do if you're Jared Kelly. You don't pit. You don't do anything here. But Owens, however, he pit, like I said, 8 laps before Kelly did, 14 laps ago. I think he has a good amount of the field a lap down.
Jaron Valley,
it might
he didn't
be
have
worth
to
it to take tires here for Owens.
Jaron Valley, he says, you know what? I'm going to get freshies and see what happens. We're here on lap 100, scheduled for 130. So yeah.
Why not? Right? I would.
I mean, there's 16 trucks on that lead lap. Go ahead and do it. Steve Lewis now being shown, looks like 2 laps down, is the first truck a lap down. AJ Benish also being shown 2 laps down. Really unfortunate for the number 5 there after his speeding. Littering and no good. Oh, wait a minute. That's John Beverly back on the lead lap? Good for that 901.
Nice. That's good for J Bev. He's
Yep.
never given up.
No, Justin White going to bring it into the pit.
That's not a surprise, as White likely still need to fix more damage, and we saw what impact that had in the drivability of that 28. What a shame for Justin White. It looked like he was one of the few guys who may have had something for Jared Kelly, but was not meant to be today. David Owens looks like he's going to stay out. So, I mean, I'm not a fortune teller, but I don't think he's going to hold on to the lead for very long.
Oh, I think he could probably have 4 fresh ones and find difficulty staying in the lead. The way Jared Kelly's been running here today. So White's still in the pit. Looks like we got 12 trucks on the lead lap. First truck being shown a lap down is Tommy Fox in 13th. Eric Gambrill going to be with him. Matt Schofield and Jake Johnson. Those 4 guys will be fighting for that lucky dog opportunity. Meanwhile, up front, you got David Owens and Jared Kelly. They are sharing the front row. Behind them, David Brenner, Joe Vulpes. Both those guys have showed good speed, but have been caught up in traffic. Zach Engel, George Jewell going to be on that 3rd row. 4th row is going to be David Buell and Nick Mills. Jared Valley and John Beverly in the 5th row. Jeff Pfeiffer, last truck on the lead lap, but Pfeiffer being shown way downtown Bang, as he most likely was your lucky dog, finds himself behind a lot of traffic.
I like the Mike Breen shout out.
Hey, why not? All right, David Owens getting ready as we are going to bring it to green here on lap 102. Away we go. Great jump by Owens. That's going to bring Brenner and the 55 side by side. Inside lane, better lane. Look at the speed of Brenner. Hugging that apron, brings it up in front of Kelly. Kelly going to do a crossover. Got a little bit loose with that dirty air, but now it's Jared Kelly on the preferred line. David Owens in the lead. David Brenner a little bit higher. The 55 of Kelly now using all the track all the way up into the wall. The battle is on the 8 and the 22, but that 55 ain't going nowhere.
We talked a little bit about how Kelly has a hard time once he's in traffic. Behind them, though, we got a 3-wide situation. All types of craziness that Jaron Valley is dealing with, but he's on those fresh tires. At least we believe he is. So there, we are already seeing how valuable those are. Great job by Valley already to make it through the field. He's already up to 6th, me and Gene. We saw it was only like about 4 laps is all you need. And Brenner is to the lead, gets by Owens. Owens pushing him down the front stretch. And then looking to the inside is going to be Jared Kelly. Going to try to make something happen here on the bottom, and he's going to get around Owens at least.
Kelly finally having to deal with what everybody else has been feeling, and that's the dirty air. David Brenner, he was a hot prospect in the Truck Series. A couple of years ago, he was actually one of the favorites to win the championship. Things didn't go his way, but here today on lap 106, things are looking great for the 22 Ford driver as he is leading Jared Kelly. Single file behind them all the way back to Nick Mills. Then you got a little side-by-side action with David Buell. Joe Vulpes has fallen back pretty quickly to 8th. George Jewell, Jeff Pfeiffer is still on the lead lap. John Beverly and the top 11 continue to be on the lead lap.
Yeah, they do, and that's going to be big, especially if we already get a caution at some point, me and Gene. Yeah, that lack of lead lap cars can definitely play into the finish of this race and the, I guess you could say, the tempting to take more tires, but still with 23 to go here. As you can see, Owens falling through the field with just 9-lap older tires, and Jaron Valley already in the top 5 with the freshest tires in the field. That's only a 5-lap advantage over the guys in front of him, and it was only about 2 laps over guys like Buell and Volpes, or I'm sorry, 9 laps over Volpes, and we have a caution on the track, it appears.
No, that's not what David Brenner wanted to see. David Brenner had jumped out to a 2nd lead.
It looks like it may have been Nick Mills again. Trying to see if I can get not Nick Mills, I'm sorry, I keep saying Nick Mills when I mean Justin White. I think it was Gambrill. Okay, so Gambrill involved. Let me see if I can get some footage of that, my friends. So Gambrill repping that 46.
Because he's got a Tennessee paint scheme. You can't do that.
Looks like turn 4 may have collected another victim. Oh no, this is, oh, Mean Gene, I can't wait for you to take us through this one. Here we go.
All right, you can see
That's
him on the
Pfeiffer.
outside. You got Jeff Pfeiffer under. No. Oh, that's an unfortunate racing incident.
That was a Tennessee shipment.
Yeah. Yep. You want to look at the rear chase just for fun?
Yeah, why not?
The rear chase never lies.
It's not gonna.
Oh, let's see what
take a
happens
look here.
here.
We'll do far chase. Here we go.
Pfeiffer is on the apron, and he just starts to come up the track a little bit, and
I think
then
he just
evens
misjudges
it
it a
out.
little. Just
That's a tough call. That's a tough call right there because Gambrel definitely wanted to get back down on the apron. Pfeiffer already had that position.
Whoa.
Pfeiffer, though, can't hold that apron as tight as he would like to, and you can see him plow up just a little bit. It's one of those, I'm going to walk and throw my fists in front of me like this, and if you get in the way, it's your own fault. And then you say, well, I'm going to walk and kick my legs. And if you get in front of me, well, it's your fault. And yeah, two trucks coming together.
On pit road as well, Mean Gene. So first of all, Brenner and Owens electing to pit here. Brenner at the absolute last second brought it down. I mean, like, it could not have been later, but he brought it down. I don't think he's going to get a penalty because it looked like it was clean. And then him and Owens came out side by side, banging doors. I think I'm going to have some footage of it in just a second. Yeah, go ahead if you want to show that, Smoke and Joe. I can show that real quick before we go green here. So here we go. And watch this. That's coming off pit road right there. Banging doors are Owens and Brenner. But Owens is the one who came out in front of him ultimately. But guys like Jared Kelly stayed out.
I mean, if you think about it, though, Jared Kelly, he watched Owens and Brenner stay out, and that paid off. So why would he not do that? Now he's going to be on that front row with Zach Engel. Engel and Kelly were the two fastest guys in practice, so that's kind of who should be out there. Ought to be interesting. Kelly has 2 lap older tires than Zach Engel. But now look, there's Jaron Valley up in there as well. Valley last pitted on lap 99, so he's only got about 13 laps of wear on his tires. Nick Mills now making his way up into that second row. That's that number 20 blue truck on the outside. John Beverly, look at that. Part-timer in the 901 finds himself up on that third row with David Owens. Then here we go. Then David Brenner and Joe Vulpes going to be on the fourth row. David Buell. And here's a couple of names that I said at the beginning, a George Jewell and a Jeff Pfeiffer. They're on the outside looking in, but both of those guys, in fact, from 6th place back, all pitted there on lap 109, took 4 freshies. So we'll see if dirty air and track position can prevent fresher tires from moving up. 19 laps to go here, still under caution. Getting ready to go green. It's going to be Jared Kelly waiting, and away he goes. Great jump there by Kelly. Going to immediately fade up into that second lane. Jaron Valley with a really good move to hold the apron around Zach Engel. Looks like David Owens is going to make use of the apron. Going to be side by side with Mills. Mills touches the wall. Going to open the door. Here's Valley making a move.
Like Jaron Valley dives to the inside with a late move. Did not give Jared Kelly any chance to defend that. That was brilliant from Valley. Not able to make it stick, though, as Kelly doing a great job on the outside. And then you have the fresh tire cars doing their trucks, trying to do their best to make it through this field as quick as they can. That's David Owens. He's already up to, looks like it could be third on the exit of this corner as he tries to get around Zach Engel. So this is going perfectly for Owens. We talked about how Jared Kelly did not want to lose control of this race, and I would say that's what has happened here, Mean Gene. Loose as Owens.
See, but nothing he can do about it now except try to lay down laps.
Caution's out.
Jared. Oh no, Gambrel again.
Gambrel again. Oh no.
Oh, things not looking good for the rookie.
I got deja vu over here. That's the exact same place he wrecked. Oh man, this is insane. Get ready for this replay.
Good old Rocky Top.
Look at this one.
Top, interior wall.
Tell me if you've seen this before, Mean Gene.
Well, he's rubbing it. He's rubbing it. That's Paul Ferdiani going to be below him.
And
there's Steve Lewis and Jake Johnson up in front of him.
Oh, he's
Let's
loose.
see. Look at him. He's coming down hard, and there's Ferdiani. Oh,
Yeah.
when they touch.
Jam hard
Danger.
there.
High voltage. So that's the second time we've seen that happen to Gambrel, where he wants to get down on that apron, but there's somebody there. That somebody came in a little bit faster than they normally would to find that position. And you know darn well, later in a run, those tires are going to plow just a little bit. I plow, you cut, and that's what happens. Meanwhile, I see that 32 of Jake Johnson whipping around. Looks like he is the
Zach
lucky
Engel pit.
dog.
Zach Engel, I think, brings it down.
Oh,
He's going
he
to put
did.
4 tires on it. That is interesting. I don't disagree with that at all. I actually think that could end up being a net gain for Engel. He was losing spots there on that restart. He was one of the older tire guys, and he elected to bring it down. Behind him on pit lane is someone that we had lost track of, and that's AJ Benish. He's been in there for 4 minutes, so Benish clearly with some damage that he is repairing. Not the day the 5 wanted here today.
No, he's been in there 4.5 minutes now. So AJ, he's still in good place for playoff points run, but he would have liked to have been a little bit higher, put a little bit of space between him and the others. Gambrel also with an extended pit stop time down there as he's trying to get that thing repaired. Looks like 13 drivers now going to be shown on the lead lap as Gambrel going to go a lap down after his last pit stop fiasco. Jared Kelly and Jaron Valley now up front. Valley was a top 5 driver in points before he had to take that extended break due to work obligations. But here he is now. He's got that 01 Toyota up on that front row with only 14 laps to go. Behind him is the row of new tires. David New Tires Owens and David New Tires Brenner. Couple of teammates. Yeah, you know, we've seen them do. They took tires together, then they banged coming out of the pits, and now here they are side by side. Owens, you know, after last week, he had a teammate wreck him at Indy. He's probably on that mic saying, "No repeats, David. No repeat, Brenner."
Yeah, he probably has a DTA attitude right now, and it looks like this caution may have gotten extended 1 lap, and that, if so, is great news for Jared Kelly, because what I think I was going to say, me and Gene, is Jared Kelly has made his bed, and he is sleeping in it. He could have done what Zach Engel did there and tried to fix the bleeding and taken those tires and gotten back at it, and it would have been a matter of then Brenner and Owens holding them off, but that is not what we are seeing here. Jared Kelly electing to leave it out there, and he's going to try to get this done here on track, and I think probably hope for more cautions and less time where he has to race Jaron Valley.
Well, you know, if there are more cautions, that's just going to give more times for the brand new tire guys as well to get closer and closer and closer. We'll just have to find out as Fox and Gambrel, both a lap down, going to fight for the lucky dog. Away we go. Jared Kelly with a great start. Going to pull away from Valley. He'll fade up into the preferred lane. Valley behind him in second, single file. Behind them, it's double wide, Owens and Brenner. Owens going to hug the apron, going to get him a little bit more speed. Brenner not going to go away, finding the momentum on the outside. Still side by side for third and fourth. Owens still making use down at the bottom. Meanwhile, Jaron Valley, he ain't afraid to try the outside. Kelly comes up to block him, and now a crossover attempt as they come across the start-finish line. Valley dives it down into one on lap 120.
I think that's what Jaron Valley wanted there. Jared Kelly doing everything he can to try to hold out Valley, but there's just nothing he can do. He tried to put in the squeeze, but that turn in that 01 has is just too much for Kelly to deal with. Kelly sends it in deep through the inside of 3 and 4, trying to get to the side of the 01, not able to do anything, so loose on the exit, just driving the absolute hell out of that truck is Jared Kelly, but there's nothing that I think that 55 can do with that tire situation, such older tires than Jaron Valley has. Behind him is the newest tires in the field, and that's David Owens. He's going to try to look to the inside of Kelly here.
Kelly going to block him, not let him by. A lot of dirty air, but it's still Owens looking down on the inside. He's probably going to ride Kelly all the way up into the wall, dive it down. Great momentum now as he slides in front of the 55. Plows up the track, and that's going to let the 55 continue to look on the inside. Brenner, though, cannot take advantage of this battle, maintains his spot in fourth. Buell slowly fading back in fifth. Mills holding on to sixth. Jewel, Volpus, Pfeiffer Schofield back into 10th.
What a great job there from Owens to complete that pass and do it quick. You saw Kelly trying every trick in the book to try to keep that 8 alongside him, but wasn't able to do it. And that was a 6-lap difference between Kelly and Valley. And we saw how dramatic that was. This is a 10-lap difference between Valley and Owens. Owens with 10-lap newer tires and 7 laps to complete the pass, but hitting the wall down the front stretch is not going to help him do it.
That is going to open the door now. Brenner trying to peek up underneath. Can't make the move. And David Buell, he's come into the picture. He's going to peek underneath the 22. This is what we talked about. If you can't make the clean pass.
Oh, no way.
What? Gambrel? No. Tennessee Rocky Top. See, he went to the driving school. He knew what to do. You go to a certain speed, stay on the apron. Bam! Out comes the caution. Good play there by the 46.
Okay, this replay. Gambrel must feel like the most bullied guy in the world by now. Or maybe he should just call it a day, because clearly that truck, not with a ton of speed anymore, very, very loose through the corners. Gambrel. Behind him comes Justin White. He's in no mood to have patience for it and sends him right up the track for his 3rd wreck of the day.
Wow, and they're coming in quick succession here for the 46. It's a rough day, you know.
Look at that truck.
He's talking to him.
Oh.
He's talking to him.
Oh, he's having a car. Oh, and Justin White once again says, I don't care. Get away from me.
Look, you're a damn rookie. You don't put your car next to mine, or I'll put you in the wall.
That is a good accent.
That's the best I had. You just roll the R's and hope for the best.
And man,
yeah.
let's
You
go
know
ahead.
what? This is a great time. Why not? Let's take a little peek. You know, if you got a win, if you got a season win, and if you have 3 wrecks in a row, you deserve a trophy. Let's see who can make it.
What's this? Trophies. Look at these trophies. Oh, yeah. Oh, a surfboard. Yeah. Oh, check out that Daytona 24. Yeah. Oh, wine bottle. Big time. Cup of wine in the big time. Yeah.
And we're back. You know, one of the trophies I saw on that, beautiful trophies up there, but the Puckett. You know, that is one of the most coveted trophies in the Premier Cup League. Do you really want to have that one? David Medina securing that, so congrats to him on his win on Sunday at Kentucky in the league opener for our Bonfire Premier Cup, which happens Sunday. We'll be back on the air as well next Sunday right here on the Vortex Racing Network. But here tonight, only 4 laps to go as we are bringing you action from Iowa Speedway. It's Big Trucking Tuesday, Season 12, Race 12 of our 13-race regular season. 3 wide in the booth. Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Smokin' Joe bringing you all the action. Question now is, Jared Kelly, can the double nickel finish off what has been a beautiful day? Led so many laps. Zach, this guy has been lights out, but now the usurper, Jared Valley, this guy took a break and now he's back. It's like he never left. Right next to him, David Owens, another guy with more wins than so many drivers. David Brenner behind him, just a lot of speed and talent. Kelly's got to get through this dirty air as quick as he can. I think he has an advantage in starting position over David Owens. That inside, it just seems to be the way to go, especially on a restart.
Mean Gene, I worry about the tire spin. Such old tires for Kelly at this point. We'll see. I mean, I think Kelly's going to need something to happen between Valley and Owens for him to open the door, and he needs to keep that 22 behind him.
That is going to be the question. And the other thing is, look at David Buell just silently there. I've seen people win from there. All right, going to bring it down. Away we go. Jaron Valley with a great start. Going to bring Kelly with him. Kelly side by side with David Owens. David Brenner not going anywhere. George Jewell going to cut down in front of David Buell. That's going to be for 5th spot. Jaron Valley single file behind them. David Owens. Kelly now falls back into 3rd, and he's got Brenner on the outside with a little bit of side drafting. Behind them, 2 double wide. It's going to be George Jewell and David Buell bringing it around. This is your final lap. Jaron Valley in the lead, bringing it around 2. Backstretch. Brenner takes out Kelly. What a shot. Up front, Valley holding on. Here comes David Owens. He's bringing it in there like he's Willem Byron, but he's not going to make contact. Jaron Valley holds on out of 4. It's going to be Jaron Valley. Welcome back. Jaron Valley pilots his 01 Toyota to the win. David Owens going to take 2nd, and George Jewell up on the podium. Great run here by the boys. Owens gives a little love tap to Jaron Valley, lets him know, I could have done it to you. But I don't know. Valley had some great speed, managed to get out of there. Hey, how about a little replay? I'd love
run that
to
replay,
see.
Smoking Joe. Run that
I'd
replay.
love to see that little tap. That looked like.
I got you on that. And this got ugly. So Brenner, this rips the wheel out of his hands. And let's see. Looks like it's going to initially be a little bit of netcode. There's the initial contact, and that's not netcode. Into Kelly goes the 22, and that must be the moment where it got ripped out of his hands or the toe link broke. And oh man, that's made a big hit for
my brakes went out, and I broke a tie rod. But then the tie rod healed itself, and my brakes work again. It was just so
Brenner
hard.
into Zach Angle.
No, Schofield.
Oh, T-Bone.
Look at Jake Johnson.
Jared Kelly for no reason.
Jake Johnson got
32.
involved. Look, and here comes, if it's a steak buffet, here comes Louie. Come on, Louie, get you some.
Get yourself a bite, Louie. Oh, and look at Justin White. He's like, this day will never end.
Well.
And I don't think we're done between Jared Kelly and Brenner here. I don't think Kelly too happy. Look at this. Yep, there it is.
I would too.
Not happy with Jared Kelly.
I'd put it in reverse and get a little more.
And you just see his sheet metal flying still every which way.
Wow, aliens were abducting pieces of sheet metal
They really were.
There. But hey, don't let all of this make you forget the fact that Al Bundy scored 5 touchdowns for Polk High. Oh, wait, my bad. Jaron Valley with the win. Welcome back. Wonderful run there by Valley. He was never far away. Jared Kelly, even taking away the wreck that he had with Brenner there at the end, just not enough with those tires. You talked about it early, Zach, that would the tires come back to haunt him? We saw somebody like Zach Angle come in, take tires late. Unfortunately for him, also caught up in the foolishness. But you know who the tires did work out for? That's that 3rd place finisher, George Jewell. Took those tires back on lap number 131. So he had to be happy to see that work out.
Yeah, that really worked out for Jewell, and it looks like that last cycle worked out for Mills as well. He was able to get that 6th place finish. So a lot of our guys that we did anticipate to run up front ended up getting that finish anyway. And then, just horrible luck for someone like Zach Angle again, who did not get the finish he deserves. He's going to end up in 9th place after being part of that cluster there at the end. And Jared Kelly, once again, going to lead a bunch of laps, going to qualify well, and have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, truly unfortunate, but that is short track racing. Sometimes you are the hammer and sometimes you are the nail, and more often than not tonight, lots of folks found themselves getting nailed. But not Valley, as he gets the win. Angle, Owens, and Jewell top 3. David Buell with a nice finish in 4th. Vulpes 5th. Nick Mills going to finish 6th. Great day for Nick, considering the start he had. Jeff Pfeiffer almost made me a fortune teller. Gets all the way up to 7th. Only a matter of time till that top 5 comes his way. We got one more race. How about John Beverly, huh? He comes over just for a little appearance. wants to chase the trophy, finishes in 8th on the lead lap. Zach Engel, Matt Schofield, we saw those guys involved in the wreck. Jake Johnson as well, just nowhere to go. Hey, Jared Kelly, he beat Brenner though, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably a consolation prize enough for him.
Led 98 laps, Jared Kelly did.
That hurts.
But unfortunately, that's just not the way that it ended. David Brenner going to finish in 13th. Eric Gambrell, well, rough ride there for the rookie. Yeah, he gets 14th, but man, he just became everybody's favorite punching bag.
That's why you never give up, me and Gene. Even though if it inconveniences everybody, you never give up.
Never give up. You know what's funny is it's only showing him with 4 incident points. I find that hard to believe. Stephen Neal
gave up.
Stephen Neal 15th. There's Louis going to bring it home in 16th. Paul Ferdiani caught up in an early wreck, going to finish 17th. Edward Peltz as well. Peltz had a good day going for a minute. Going to finish 3 laps down. Unfortunate for him. Tim Darby. You know, Darby continues to get closer and closer and closer. I remember when this guy was putting down, 20 laps down, 15 laps down. And now here he is really consistently 4 laps down, 3 laps down, 2 laps down. So I think it's only a matter of time till this fella finds the confidence to just run his lines, hold his line, and make those leaders go around you, because that's when you start finding yourself only a lap down, battling for that lucky dog. And with some late lap breaks, I mean, look at this race here today. If you stay on that lead lap, all of a sudden, there's only 13 trucks on the lead lap.
Yeah.
You can let everybody else go away, and you're still going to finish 13th, 12th. I mean, hell, after the foolishness of Brenner and Kelly, that's 2 more free spots. And if you don't get caught up in that wreck, you get all the way up into an 8th or a 7th place finish. So, there is light at the end of the tunnel for every driver, and it's fun to watch Tim Darby as he continues to progress here in our league. Tommy Fox, 10 laps down, just unfortunate for him. Justin White, his incident with Gambrell, that's going to be on a replay somewhere in my mind, because you don't mess with a Scotsman, man. Don't look under the kilt. You don't look under the kilt. And Gambrell, was just risking it all. AJ Binish, bad luck. But he had the speeding penalty and then the damage. Zach Williams, Kyle Lynott early damage, and Nate Maurer. The little internet issue. Aliens abducted him, and I think you know how to spell alien abduction. It's PROBE. So gotta hope Nate Mauer's okay.
Jeez, yeah, a lot of those today. I mean, Jan, it's been impressive. Just the consistency from you, very impressive.
Yeah, let's look at those points.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. And so, one thing to note here, Mean Gene, only 17 drivers appearing here on this standings, and that is because that is all that is still eligible to make the playoffs in terms of meeting enough races and having enough points to have a chance at it throughout the rest of this regular season.
Wow, and look up top, man, that thing, 10 points now separating David Owens and Joe Volpis. So, if I'm Joe, I just treat David like I'm a teammate. We saw what Alex McWhorter did to David Owens at Indy. And if Joe could win a race and put David Owens 18 spots behind him, that's going to be more than adequate. So I think Volpis just going to have to treat him like he's his teammate and do what needs to be done. Behind him, AJ Binish, bad day, but still finds himself in a really good spot as far as points. Let's peek down a little bit. Zach goes up 1, Justin White down 1, Nick Mills goes up 2, Brenner down 1, Schofield. I was worried about Matty there for a minute, finding himself a lap down, battles back. Zach Williams, kind of a rough day, but still in a good spot there in 10th. Stephen Neal, consistent. Kyle knocked out early. He's on that line, but here's where it gets fun. Look at Jake Johnson battling back to get within 4 points. So he's in it, man. He's in it.
It's all to play for. And Alex McQuarter, last week's winner, not making the race today.
Where was he? What was he doing?
Yeah, right? He was quote unquote away.
Yeah, I think David Owens went and found him, so we're worried about the well-being of
On
Alex
vacation.
McQuarter. Yeah, really.
Yeah, that could have been it.
Swimming with the fishes, and most likely. So McQuarter, he's got a big gap. Lynott at 172 points. You go back to McQuarter, 157. So that's 15 points. That's tough. He's going to have to do another Indianapolis miracle. But he's going to have to do it to Lynott this time to catch up. Tommy Fox as well, 2 points behind that. So a lot of uphill. These boys are going to basically need to win, and then pray for bad luck for Kyle Lynott next week if they want stuff to happen. But a lot of fun. I'm going to be watching Jake. Jake's been knocking on the door of those top tens. Got caught into some late lap foolishness there as well, caught in that big wreck. So we'll just have to see how it works out. And, Stephen Neal really has to be happy. He was very close now, though, 12 points above Lynott. A little bit of breathing room for the 45 up in that 11th spot.
Yeah, that's definitely helpful for him. That is really what sticking out to me more than anything is if some drivers getting some of that much needed breathing room, like you said, so they can start to focus on the playoffs and not making them, right? So it's really interesting for guys like Jake Johnson, who just really put together a great season, has that perfect attendance. So that is going to be fun to see what he's able to do as the season comes to a close. And yeah, pretty much everyone that's still eligible, that's on the outside looking in, is a fast driver capable of anything. Same goes for Fox, Peltz, McGivern, all those guys very, very fast. But right now, it would be Lynott, today's sponsor, and you saw how good just showing up is. Lynott second to last place here today with some early misfortunes, but still enough to help him hold on to that playoff spot. And just that's why you show up, me and Gene.
Yeah, consistency breeds success, and that's what we see. And also, just being in the truck every week, so many people run different series. You're in the Xfinity car one week, you're in the ARCA, or one day, you're in ARCA one day, you're in a Premier Cup one day. So just finding that opportunity, which is also so nice when you watch here on the Vortex Racing Network, when we offer the back-to-back opportunity to see the trucks. Tomorrow night, of course, the DDI Truck Series is going to be broadcast right here on the Vortex Racing Network. You'll get to see a couple of the faces that you saw tonight, but a lot of uniqueness about that league, but something not unique is competitive racing, and that's what you're going to see there tomorrow. You, of course, will see Zach Panzarella, Dalton Geyer, and Johnny Replay going to walk us through that. So going to be exciting racing there tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. We're heading over to New Hampshire over there to see who's going to take the lobster. That's a lobster track, right? I'm not wrong about that, am I? Oh, lobster. Okay. So yeah, that's we'll see. That's my favorite type of food. So hopefully it'll be me and Gene. But we know Dalton Geyer very, very fast there. He won on the Thursday night Truck Series at New Hampshire last season in a dominant fashion. So I definitely think that Geyer will be the driver to watch tomorrow. But DDIRL currently in their playoffs right now, in the middle of their chase. This is race 2 tomorrow. Panzarella currently leading their point standings over there. So that's been a lot of fun. And then Thursdays, we're working on that one, and I think it looks like, I don't want to announce anything yet, but it looks like we are close to putting together a new broadcasting team for, here on VRN for that as well. So that's going to be very exciting to have a triple header of 3 days straight of truck racing here.
Oh, yeah, you got to love watching those. And, of course, Monday Night Mayhem, that's our MRL series. And not on there, though, Sundays as well, the Sunday Bonfire Premier Cup, and those boys will be at Charlotte on Sunday. So lots of racing in the future coming on here for 5 nights a week out of the 7 days. So, hey, take a break on Friday and Saturday. Not for long, as we're hoping to put together, what do you want to call it, Joe? A training league, introductory league on Saturday? That's down the road too, right?
Yeah, we have
Oh,
a few fun things in the works. Me and Gene, we're also working on something similar for Mondays before the Cup Series. We're hoping to bring a new league there as well. So
Ooh.
yeah, that's definitely wide open right now. But
I hope that's not a training league because I'm going to race in that, and I'm just going to take trophies. I don't
Oh,
care
yep.
if you're trying to break people in. You know, I need more trophies on my shelf.
Hey,
That's just how it is. Yeah, that's just how it's going to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap us up here today. If you like what you saw, please take this opportunity to subscribe, like this video, tell your friends, get your sister's cat to watch on a laptop. Hit that like. The more support we get from you, the more support that we can give for you and these drivers, putting on a great show for you guys week after week, and heck, night after night, with the opportunities that we've given you here on the Vortex Racing Network. And of course, once you subscribe, you'll get those notifications when we go live, and you can keep up with all the action, find your favorite driver, and hey, merch is on the way. We've got hats that you can order from all of these drivers, and we're getting the shirts too, so keep on top of that. Best way to do that, subscribe, Vortex Racing Network, and get in on all of the inside information. This has been a blast. The Suicide Awareness and Prevention 180 live from Iowa Speedway, as we watched a much cleaner finish for the winner, Jaron Valley. David Owens making second, George Jewell third. And we'll have to keep track, Zach. Looks like we might have some fun talks in the pits. We saw Gambrel and Justin White have a little do-si-do. And then we saw some square dancing with Jared Kelly and David Brenner. So can't wait to see Talladega next week. Surely nothing will go wrong there, as these boys will do battle in the last regular season race. On behalf of myself, 3 Wide in the booth, Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Smokin' Joe, all our sponsors, KK Woodscapes, the Suicide Awareness and Prevention 180, sponsored by Kyle Lynott, the League News Weekly, as well. The winner today was Jared Kelly, taking the pole. It's been a blast. Have a great evening, and as always, bottoms up and hammer down.